Alright folks, looks like we're going to be going into the draft for our first game between NIP and Ultra Prime. I'm actually struggling to pick a favorite for this one, despite the fact out of Spring, NIP were a top 4 team and Ultra Prime are the pool 4 team, one of the bottom table teams from Spring. The first games coming out of Summer have looked like NIP have struggled to go towards that meta, and Hacker, particularly in Ultra Prime, has been very good at the AP junglers, Yukai at the AD mids. We're seeing one of those AD mids in the Yone banned out from Yukai immediately.
Well, this time around as well, of course, Hacker's back on the Rift, and after his fantastic Need for Speed remake towards Shenzhen Drift in the Herald Escape yesterday, he's been on a bit of a tear himself, so I wonder whether there might be more emphasis on getting him another champion that can style on people a little bit. Some of these bans are not entirely what I've been expecting.
There are 4 mid lane bans right now. Yukai might have to face up against Rookie on the Tristana as a first pick.
Yeah.
Maybe have to just go towards an AP mid laner instead, and Hacker might have to forego the Karthus at that point. Do they have another AD mid laner besides the Yone, the Corki, and the Tristana, which is now banned? I think this could upset what Ultra Prime wanted to do on a red side draft.
Can they look towards a Jace, maybe?
Potentially, but the thing is, then you don't get any pushing mid lane, which is a big problem at that point.
I'm looking at the Senna first pick here as well, and Photic, when he was at his best, was a monster on Senna. He has always been a big player of this champion, and obviously that gives a little bit more room for Jour to have a bit more presence in lane, can be a bit more aggressive with all the additional stats you get from farming alongside the Senna, so that could be a really big deal here for NIP.
And on first picks for Ultra Prime, Shanji has typically gone towards stuff like that Cassante or the Rumble. If he's going towards that Cassante, you kind of struggle into something like a Twisted Fate. Xingtian locking that in and saying, alright, Shanji, skill matchup. If you're going to play something like a tank, you will just bluntly lose the lane. Pick a carry, or pick something which can survive, either you're either going to benefit the team and lose lane, or win that lane, and maybe not benefit the team as much.
We had this conversation, I want to say yesterday, we said, look, you don't like the TF blind in the sense that you can counter it, but it does force a counter, because if you don't and you pick a tank into it, as you're saying, it's a miserable time, and I think in a lot of ways that's got to be a call out to Shanji, who hasn't been having the greatest split.
He's been up and down. And, he's fantastic at that Cassante, fantastic at that Rumble, and he's kind of like his chosen champions. The Nautilus was taken away from the Senna. The Ornn is the next tier engage bot tank for that Senna. And, of course, Rookie onto that Taliyah. But without a lot of those choice AD mid laners which can counter at a lane, I think this has been a good draft from NIP so far. A lot of the worries I had in draft about the AD mid laners, which it felt like NIP were not thriving with as much, have been thrown out the window.
It's worth saying, of course, the Taliyah can be a flex. The Ornn could be a flex. We could see Ornn top. We could see the Taliyah jungle. But obviously, I think on paper, we're expecting the Taliyah mid and the Ornn support, but worth keeping an eye on. Yukai goes away from those AD mid laners, locks in the Aurelion Soul very early on here.
Now, if you're playing front to back, the ASOL might just outscale you just as a one-man army, or the one dragon. It's not necessarily going to be something like the Hacker AP jungler, though, which is something which I thought Ultra Prime looked really comfortable in. So I think NIP, they managed to very quickly control this draft to going towards two sets of team compositions, which I think is more towards their wheelhouse. They get to use the AP roaming mid laner, most likely if that's Taliyah for Rookie. They stop Hacker going towards the AP junglers, and if they're still afraid of them coming out, they could just still ban the Karthus now if they wanted.
I think that's a fair shout. They might well still do that. It would make some sense, especially when you're considering what Hacker is been succeeding on recently. I think also something like the Shin style might make some sense if you are looking for some of those more AD frontlanes. I think you might ban out the Varus here as well. I think Varus is a good shout.
I think like you're looking at Dogger and just being like, well, I think you just ban away some of the S tiers there. Kalista and Varus wouldn't surprise me to take away from that. I think that the draft is already kind of crap for a Karthus because you're not going to have that much frontline for it. You don't have the AD AP split. You don't have a pushing mid laner to allow the Karthus to farm for free. If you ban away the Varus and the Kalista, you then shore up bot lane as well to be quite dominant in the center and the Ornn without many champions left for the Doggo.
See what they've got left in the wheelhouse, and I think you're right. I think also now with the fact you've got the Taliyah and the Ornn and the center, there's a lot of ways to theoretically attack the Karthus. It's not really a safe place to stand, so I think those all make some sense. They're going to get rid of the Vi as well. Two of the very easy go buttons and comp simplifiers in the Vi and the Viego.
Also, the two best champions from Aki too.
Yeah.
The two best champions are Viego and Vi.
Oh,
maybe Sejuani is the other one. You could still look in Sejuani here for Aki, but I feel like you just get shredded by the tank killers of Ultra Prime right now. They could still look in a Varus. It would be, of course, pokier Varus, which means you're not as good into the front line, but I think you're completely fine to lock that one in. because you already have tank killing elsewhere. It is going to be that Xin Sao for Hacker, though, that you mentioned. It's not the AP farming jungler for Hacker, but he is also... He as a player has always been the first 15-minute champion player who just plays the early game so aggressively.
Yeah, those first 2 clears, he has got some psychopath in him. I think that's fair to say. The problem is he's then on the run for the police from the mid-game onwards, and it gets a little bit dicier to be an active threat on the Rift from there. Debating some interesting picks. Wait until we see what's locked in. Rek'Sai has been kind of haunting the edges of meta again. I don't think it's been as successful since MSI, but it's still going to be a lock-in for Aki.
Right.
This Camille, theoretically a flex again if they lock it, but we'll wait and see. It's still likely going top.
No, there is no way this would go anywhere but top lane at this kind of point in the draft at this point. I really feel like this has to be that good answer into that Twisted Fate. We did say it calls for a carry and topside. Shanji answers that call with the Camille.
Exactly, and it is a matchup that's pretty good for the Twisted Fate, so I think that would make some sense. Doggo debating the Ezreal away to try and stay safe from some of the pretty heavy dive, honestly, here from NIP.
You don't have to be the tank killer ADC because you have Twisted Fate that can help with that and the Aurelion Sol too. You just need to have something that can be safe, that can outrange and maybe avoid that engage. Not great into the Camille, pretty good into everything else, and it helps you survive in that laning phase too. Doggo has also been a notable Ezreal player over his career as well.
I think that is a fair point. Certainly when he was back over in the PCS was doing a lot of work on the Ezreal. I feel like a lot of the old school AD carries that are still around. I suppose at this point Doggo counts as old school.
It's like
have been big Ezreal players.
Every mid laner had to learn how to play like Orianna, Rise, Twisted Fate. Every AD carry had to learn how to play Ezreal at some point. It was just one of those champions you had to know how to play. And I feel like Doggo in this game has a good angle for it. I think that he as a player has had a better summer so far, only 3 series in, of course, than he did in spring. Currently at 2-1 in series. Ultra Prime, if they win this series, they might be looking at a top 2 finish in this group, which would be so big. I think it's top 3, which goes through into Group A. From Group D, which is the enlarged group, it's got 5 teams instead of 4. From this one, I think that if Ultra Prime get themselves a good game here, NIP need to start sweating, and Ultra Prime might be on a point of unprecedented success for this organization. It'd be a big moment for them.
We'll see whether they can make it work, of course, and I think you're right. It feels like a better draft from NIP, who have been struggling to find a way to play the game consistently right now. They have been really struggling with their angles of attack, angles of drafting, and finding ways to enable some of the players that have really been still searching for a way to be impactful in the game.
As we load onto the Rift, we shall await those Gyos and see exactly how the home arena of NIP are looking right now. We get ourselves onto the Rift.
There is the Rift. It's the Trucker on. It is such a big skin that's come on out. So it's Trucker on is the train... I forget what the name of it is called, but it's still fine.
The Gyos happening right now?
I actually don't know. We'll see whether that's happening, but I'm still going to keep talking for a second or two. As instead, we've got a bit of a level 1 5-man stack here from Ultra Prime, as they might well be stepping on forwards. And that is going to be very tricky to manage, as Niket might be looking for the dredge line. Lands it! That's a big moment at the level 1. Rookie in danger, dead to first blood.
And that is something which Ultra Prime really wanted. They do blow that Ignite. It means they'll have less lane pressure. But seriously, Niket being able to go back immediately and to say, okay, get themselves the early boots. Get something away from the level 1 of NIP is important. Said that NIP, their first couple of series looked shaky. I feel like this is now something they'll have to recover from as well. They are still committing towards that lane swap, though. And Ultra Prime, I don't think they see it coming.
Alright, another level 1 stack, and you're right, it will be that lane swap probably, but First Blood still going on over is pretty dangerous to give up, especially, honestly, to Nautilus, especially because he's now coming back with the boots. The move speed differential for the Naut can be difficult to manage, that is for certain, as back to lanes we go, and the lane swap still not going to be a known quantity.
Qingtian, I think he sees it coming at this point, though. He has himself that level 1 gold card, and that is very important, but Rookie will see this happen. Does mean that he won't be caught out by this one too easily.
Gonna step on forwards now with the gold card, and now with the damage coming back onto Rookie, he takes Photic again. Photic has roamed too, though, and of course, this is the Senna. It doesn't need to be farming, so the damage back actually ends up being relatively even.
That was actually a level 1 W start from Photic to see if he can get that route, maybe look in towards a level 1 kill. Hacker's going to be seen by Shanji. Don't think you'll be able to see this one right, so Shanji won't get himself involved in that one. He got himself a little bit of XP towards that top side, and we did say, well, NIP were the team to start off the lane swap meta. It was Draw. Everyone blame Draw for lane swaps, folks. as they are going to be the ones committing to this one. Again, they did give up something towards this Yoko. What did he level 2? Did we see him use the flight yet? Has he got that? E instead. He has flash, getting out safely.
Should be fine just to walk out. Was very heavily hovering towards that side of the lane to try and stay safe. And Ultra Prime just begin what bot lanes in lane swaps do, which is try and take as many plates as fast as you can. And all the while topside Ornn hasn't yet to get that wave fully under tower, so this should be a fairly significant early edge for Ultra Prime, at least off these first wave or two.
Yeah, I need to start looking at XP advantages from the lane swap as well. It's one of the big things which can happen. It's going to be a teleport back from Ornn, who's hit level 3. Big thing with Senna is that you can just take a teleport support who, and Dogger's going to teleport to the side of the map now. Of course, Ezreal can do the same. Going to pick up a huge wave crash. This is important. The big thing about lane swaps is that it's about who gets the resources quickly across all lanes. Xingqian hit by that W. Is he going to be able to get any of this wave? I think this is going to be a bit of a soft freeze coming in from NIP. Xingqian doesn't have that ghost, used that early on. Does have the flash, but he's going to be losing out on XP towards bot side. Doggo, of course, went towards that top lane to get that top lane, but it's not completely secured across the map.
I suppose because Xingqian has gone for the pick a card early on, doesn't have that ability to throw out those wild cards from super long range, so his ability to get access to the wave, pretty risky in that early game, so I think you're right, was kind of denied a fair amount, at least early on there. But the game stabilizes after the early macro shenanigans, but it's still first blood to Ultra Prime. It's still significant CS for Doggo, who's picked up a couple waves in 2 different lanes off the use of the teleport and the early shoves, so feeling pretty happy as the Ezreal.
And I have to say, if I was an Ezreal player in this game, I'd be pretty happy with this draft. I think that getting this early gold, getting this early XP, Ezreal feels pretty good here. The only way you really die as Ezreal is if you overextend and use your E poorly, or the Camille gets a huge angle onto you. Even then, I think with the extra CC coming in from Ultra Prime, I think Doggo could take over. And if you're not focusing on the Ezreal, of course, he gets to run you down as well. So in this game, I really need to see how far ahead Doggo can get.
Xingqian still at level 1, and that's a level 3 Camille. I think if you step forward here, could be in a seriously dangerous position. That's why Hack has been summoned up here to try and help get the shove, because in a 1v1, a hook shot would lead to Xingqian's demise.
You can see that Xingqian trying to get that wave to bounce back to him, potentially. You can see that he's not heavily hitting the wave. Ends up tanking stun from Shanji. Not great. You can see that Shanji was looking for that heavy trade as Xingqian came to contest that wave. You can see that again, Xingqian not hard pushing the wave, wanting to see if it can bounce back so he can collect more of that CS. Can't eat a hard trade though. If he eats one more, he won't be able to collect any of it.
That would be very sad indeed, and you can see Shanji is the kind of winner for NIP side of the lane swap, really, compared to Doggo on the other side. But even then, actually, Ornn is doing fine in terms of the CS score. It's more the plates that went initially over the Ezreal that's the big differential, I feel.
Yeah, and, well, of course, the solo XP for an AD carry, which is the other thing. The problem is, Shanji is going to be accelerated towards higher XP, and those 2 items which make Camille very, very broken. Arki's up towards top side. You can see that Hack is here already, though.
Can potentially tunnel over the wall, but it's too little too late. They've got too deep! And the flash for the heal will not matter. Photic is there, yes, but the damage is done in the mid lane. A seismic shove comes on through, but it is just a trade Niket. Hanging around, though. Can Rookie be caught out? Didn't burn the flash at the level 1 and is forced to flash the dredge line.
Yokai hit level 6 on that all-in as well. If the dredge line came in, you'd expect the falling star would as well. Xingqian might just get redove here, just as Hacker saved his lane. I don't think they're going to be able to get him this wave under turret. He's going to try and get some XP, and that'll be it, folks.
He gets a ghost down. We'll throw a gold card onto the turret, and actually Aki flashes and dies anyway.
The gold card came in just in time. Couldn't quite top deck it from Xingqian, but gets the survival to the point where at least he gets 1 kill back. Still down in XP, about half a level, but still very happy. Now Doggo forced to flash on the other side of the map, so it's a bit of awkward dives across the board.
Doggo getting caught out there. The read on the E was pretty good. Jor has got a barrier and a summon on the ultimate. The damage is big! Flash bellows breath and the train brings down the Ezreal.
Draw gets the combo at level 6, and Doggo, after tanking some bad tower shots, ends up going down. What is happening? The strong sides of the map are failing on both sides. I don't get it, Sam.
Oh, well, that was inexperience. Doggo kind of got caught out on a really good read on the E, and it all goes wrong from there. This is the start of it, because there's a tower shot with everything else.
Yeah, Doggo tanks aggro as the CC comes through. It means that he has to flash out or to use that E. Has the level 6 first, but then you can see that the barrier comes in, and then after that, I mean, the barrier doesn't actually end up getting any value, but then the multiple brittle procs come through from Draw to secure a solo kill. His Ornn has always been that assassin, hasn't he?
Exactly that. It's always good when your support player actually knows Ornn combos. Somewhere at the top lane is going, ah yes, my child, well done. You have learned the ways of the tank assassin. Solo lane on.
Photic now wandering around the map. So one of the big problems with this is that, so Photic has basically no souls, has 16. He's not been laning, he's not really been following that farm. Shanji has level 6. This could be a kill on topside. I think the hack's not going to be here. Shanji's going to run down Jingtian.
There's just auto attacks. Auto. Hextech ultimatum and a Q for precision protocol. And Jingtian flashes and just about
Rookie
dies. Rookie dies.
I had no idea that Jingtian would be able to survive through this. Survive through to the second gold card. I feel like if Shanji had just gone for that ult a little earlier to stick in range for auto attacks, I feel like Jingtian would have 100% died. Rookie dies in the crossmap from Ultra Prime. Yokai has flash. Can they catch him? The CC doesn't land.
Oh, but there's an ultimate still. Dredgeline just wide, and Aki does get a hold of Yokai.
I'm not going to stop holding on too dearly to the macro in this game, Sam, because it feels like everyone is just trying to find these odd snatch and grab opportunities. Shanji going to crash a wave towards topside. Jingtian will be able to pick up most of this wave. Shanji might look for a trade and a stun beyond the turret, though, and indeed that's exactly what he's doing. Gets the gold card, though, to cancel out that hook shot, and at least Jingtian will be able to pick up some CCS.
Oh, boy.
No, take that back. Will he actually be able to do that? He's holding onto his card, getting that gold card, gets no aggro on the turret, though.
Yes, Shanji takes so much damage. The true shot right came flame from the other side of the map. Shield just about there. It's a 1-for-1, a 2-for-1.
And it's not even like Niket takes aggro on that top side. So it's going to be the kill going over to the TF instead of being taken by Niket. The problem is, kills on champions don't give you that much XP. Jingtian is now down just over a full level to Shanji on this point. Folks, can we have one chill minute for this game? Please.
No, absolutely not. Blood for the blood god, gold cards for the poker throne.
That's the one.
Mid lane play. Rookie, I assume, gets pulled off the wall.
That he does. Niket. This guy has been so accurate with his hooks with his first weeks of play. Remember, Rookie of the Week against the Rookie in the mid lane. We've used that one a couple of times on broadcasting. Jingtian holds on to that gold card, means that the play gets a little bit delayed. Fantastic Ezreal ult means that Shanji takes enough damage to go down towards that tower afterwards. Doesn't die to the initial blue card because of the magic shield from the adapted defensives. But still, 1 for 2. The only big loss is the XP coming through. Dwarf getting ulted on by Jingtian, and violence continues.
Well, the skies come crashing on down, and that means Jor has nowhere to go. The Forge God dies to the Star God. Turns out that stars are just a little bit better.
I am so sorry to anyone who is... oh, Jingtian, is he going to die as well? Oh, bloody hell. He's not going to die.
No.
Well, he's not going to die. There's no flash to follow up from Rookie or from Photic. I'm so sorry if you're a burgeoning Ultra Prime fan. I did see NIP's social media manager as well in chat. I'm sorry for all of it. The teleport's even cancelled!
Oh, no.
Can we chill for 1 second?
No! More action must occur. And again, in the mid lane, it's another seismic shove. Everywhere we go, someone is brawling. Shanji will get towards the top lane, and I feel like I'm trying to look to see what's happened objective-wise, because we've seen none of it. It is actually Ultra Prime that got the early grubs and the dragon, and they have strictly got an early gold lead. It's just been messy.
This is not good for my propensity to get migraines. I get them quite often. This isn't helping, folks. Ultra Prime, have a slight gold lead. Where is that gold lead in places, though? No comment. We do still see that Doggo, really the big beneficiary rather of this lane swap. Normally with the center and the support, you're gonna flip the gold leads and you think, oh well, if you got a 2,000 gold lead on the AD carry, should be the same for supports on the side. Even with the solo kill, it's just not the case. Doggo very far ahead, and we said that he could be very powerful in this one. Jingtian. Leave him alone! He's gone! He's already dead!
Flash and Burrow gets under the turret, is running away pretty fast with the ghost, which he might be turning into shortly. It's a 3v1 dive, waiting for another card to come on, gets a stun. No! Here comes the Void Rush. Surely he dies, and this time no one dies in return.
Photic at least juggles the aggro correctly this time. There's a push in on the other side of the map. Shanji won't be able to claim any of that CS. Doggo, with the Triforce already, very strong at killing these towers. Stacked up his passive on the minions. Can maybe use his ultimate to keep... Oh, no, it's actually still on cooldown. Can use that. With the 6 grubs now, though, to still keep taking these turret plates on the other side. Ultra Prime, as you rightfully said, taking the neutral objectives, and that will help them take these towers.
The problem is, poor old Jingtian is at 33 CS in 12 minutes. If you wonder why top laners detest lane swaps at the minute, this is sometimes why. You just don't get to play the game. It's actually remarkably even in gold because of the amount of kill involvement, but just has no CS at all.
We also saw that Hacker getting the kill participation on that tower kill means that he'll be able to get to his first item at this point. Need to see if he gets anything else on this back. He'll get himself another ruby crystal. So 1 item coming in from Hacker, importantly. So it's just poor Xingqian. What? It is literally just saying, look, Camille, 2 items, that's our win condition. Let's see how quickly we can get to that. And also, let's see how hard it will be for the enemy solo laners to individually lane against this Camille later on.
And as a sort of side note, we kind of briefly touched, or at least you briefly touched on it earlier, was Photic's soul count is very low. And that is sometimes, I feel, one of the real problems with Senna in lane swap. Yes, it allows your support to go do crazy things on the map and get CS while doing it, but I feel like Senna's access to soul while that happening can sometimes really fall by the wayside, and your XP too. It's like level 6, you know, obviously because of some of the lane swap shenanigans, it's very low on the soul count, and I don't think that's changing anytime soon.
And this Senna's going to get exploded if anyone reaches them. The thing is, even in lane swaps, we've seen this before, you can hit champions in a 2v1, so there are some lane swaps where this can be okay. This is a bad worst case scenario even for the lane swap, which is why we're hitting on this again, saying, look, this is a really low amount of souls, hasn't been hitting on a melee champion over and over. We have ourselves the second dragon spawning up. Hacker has flash, has ult, has first item, very, very strong right now. Xingqian, not strong, but has an ult and a gold card and a dream. See how far that can take him around this dragon, as feels like Ultra Prime, they're looking... Oh,
no! No! It's still there again! There's nowhere to be gone!
He pops the ult and he just goes down. Xingqian, dude, what's happening? Drogue pulls the ult. Here comes the ult from Hacker. Still a big fight coming through.
There's a Sky's Descent available. It's going to be an awful moment for NIP, but the seismic shove is actually pretty valuable. Hacker no longer in the Crescent Guard. Into the Hex Deck Ultimatum. And 2 more for NIP.
And Doggo just can't get the damage down. The Sky's Descent is not high enough value at this point. And the 3-man shove from Rookie seals the deal. That's going to be a dragon for NIP. They outlast that first ult of the game coming in from Ultra Prime. This feels like they're finally starting to capitalize on the lane swap at the end of it. Xingqian, you can't walk there.
He's level 7 to level 10. He'll get a gold card down, but too much more. The Hextech Ultimatum already used in the fight.
And NIP, they walk away with a really important fight. This obviously flips the gold lead in their advantage, gets themselves an early dragon. I felt like the early stages of this game could have led to an Ultra Prime winning scenario. I feel like Xingqian, though, he's really in Tilt City now. He has been walking too close to danger, and I feel like Doggo couldn't utilize his power. I feel like, of course, Yokai couldn't utilize his power either. I mean, at this point, you just have to keep your eyes on your screen. You're walking into Fog of War as a level 7 top laner. He's a level 9 jungler. You're 2 levels behind the jungler, man.
He had a ward in by the blue buff, and I thought
spot
here...
them.
Yeah, exactly, he didn't spot him, and I thought with the Sky's Descent this might be the moment, but Rookie just says no with a gorgeous seismic shove.
And it has a better early power on the Talia compared to that Aurelion Sol. Bluntly, this team composition from Ultra Prime needs that 2 items. I feel like the Azrael can be very strong at that that Triforce power spike. No, the TF power spike is actually not there on the other side. Isn't that topical as well?
At least,
he's got some gold, but he's 2 levels behind, and he's not going to be feeling very good about that one. Doggo can win fights if they extend a little longer. I just don't think the fight lasted long enough. Everyone had lost too much HP bar before he could really get involved.
It's definitely been pretty tricky, and, you know, Doggo is in a good position this game, especially once his Muramana transformation comes on through, but... To the Herald we go, being taken by NIP currently.
NIP, if they get this Herald, can break up in the mid lane out of turret. They can pin back the enemy team even more. Shanji can keep pushing in like a storm. I think giving up the Herald, they need to do it, but this is a big moment for NIP. Serious credit to them for overcoming the first stage of this lane swap, which felt very messy. I feel like they're getting to the point now where Shanji can take over the game. I feel like if they break up in the mid lane out of turret, Ultra Prime are going to be in some dire straits.
Okay, so NIP shoving into the jungle again. He used Aki's Tremor Sense super well last time to catch out Xingqian even when he wasn't on vision, and the poor TF. Nowhere to go. Doggo now, the next person under threat, is trying to stay safe. Xingqian is actually roaming here, aware something dangerous might be happening. Gets away with it. Rookie gets a shove, but onto Niket, who is tanky enough at this point.
Okay, Doggo, once he gets that Muramana, let's see how much he can do. I think he is the real... shining light for Ultra Prime. And we did say, Ultra Prime, if they win this series, which has to start with winning a game like this, you don't get too many chances like this, would see them towards the upper echelons of Group D. They could go towards the top group of the next stage, which gives you a much better position to qualify towards playoffs. NIP, though, they are very, very close to getting their big power spikes themselves. I think that the Ravenous Hydra could be important. See that no one's left alone in topside here from NIP. They don't fall prey to the collapse from Ultra Prime. NIP, they're going back. They're getting more items. Seraph's onto Rookie, getting towards that death cap as well. The burst damage coming out from NIP far eclipses what Ultra Prime are doing right now at this item spike. They need to be very careful to Ultra Prime not to play into this power spike.
Herald going to be summoned towards the mid lane. Going to try and use that to break open the mid lane turret. Not waiting for a dragon spawner, I think, so clearly want the pressure now.
Photic still only on 4. Oh, Yukai's caught this time.
That same spot. They just can't get any safety there. But Xingtian will teleport in. Rookie now in a dangerous position. Flashes away.
Where's the second gold card?
Gold card now spawning, but the knockup before he can use it. And now the Choo-Choo on throws down the pain train, but there's not going to be any additional follow-up. They'll just secure another pick. And NIP are just playing the jungle pick game so well.
Yeah, but also Ultra Prime are walking into Fog of War where they just should not be. Shanji splits the map. What did we say? If they lose control of the map, Shanji's just going to tear them apart in the split push. Ultra Prime, they couldn't wait for the right power spikes. It feels like NIP are starting to really take off. They have a minute until Dragon. They'll be probably going through into a Baron rush after that point. Ultra Prime, despite what looked like a good start to the lane swap, maybe falling a bit prey to the chaos of the game, and then in the case of Xingtian, maybe just a bit of tilt.
Exactly. I feel like it's tilt and then also just bullying, bluntly. Like, what is that way? Like, his access to wave has been so limited. Here's a look at this replay again.
The story of this fight is a bad flash from Yukai and no flash coming in elsewhere. The Herald was coming in towards mid lane, which meant that Yukai wasn't around there. It's a bad flash here. He doesn't even manage to get anything away from the Rek'Sai, really. And then Xingtian has no flash ups at this point. He just doesn't see the play coming. Gets knocked up by the Rek'Sai and then gets comboed in. Just massively disrespects the combo. The mid jungler of NIP.
The knock-up into the Dawning Shadow leads this to a pretty difficult spot. Rookie 4-2-2 is a death cap second, so this Taliyah is going to be hitting like a truck. 2 items now on the Camille, and everything coming up golden right now for NIP and Ultra Prime. Yes, you've got the Ezreal, had a decent clip of CS, but everywhere else, it's just looking increasingly difficult to find anywhere on the map to farm and be safe.
Yeah, and particularly now with Rookie being able to combo onto so much damage with NIP, with the death cap built up. I think Ultra Prime, they need to stall. They need to throw themselves at side lanes maybe for a little bit. It's a little bit hard because of that Camille, but they need to not just group up for all of these free objectives. They're actually going to get a free dragon. I'm very surprised at this. Shanji's pushing the inhibitor on one side, and I guess they're going to be setting up towards a Baron, and maybe that's where they think that the value can come through, but I really feel like they should not have given up that dragon for free.
Weaver's Wall comes down and surfs up for the mid lane turret. Goes down finally, and now NIP have full command of the map. Those tier 2s in top lane already down. The tier 1s elsewhere all down as well. So this is a very dark and very small map for Ultra Prime right now.
NIP, they give up the dragon, but they get turret and they get themselves positioning on Baron. Will that prove enough? Ultra Prime can maybe give up a dragon or two now. They can't give up the Baron, and that is a problem. NIP might just be able to force them around that. If Ornn is there, that means that they can tank it up for a very long time. They have the center for heals. We've got to teleport back into the map from Yukai. Niket needs to be careful, but they can't give up this Fog of War around Baron. It's an inevitability. NIP got this for the dragon they gave up.
They're going to get a knock up onto Doggo, who doesn't use anything else quite yet. Nautilus down, and this will be the continued experience. Doggo just fast enough to get out of that one.
Where's Xingtian going? Where's he going? He could teleport in, but again, this is not a very powerful TF. Shanji might just one-shot.
They get some damage back, force the flash into the knock-up. Can't quite get the kill, but the Hextech Ultimatum doesn't buy enough time. Doggo gets that kill. Huge moment for Ultra Prime.
And remember, what did NIP gain for that last dragon? Yes, they got themselves a mid lane out of turret, but they got control over the Baron. By giving up that kill onto Shanji, they lose what they gave, what they gained from that dragon. Big moment from Ultra Prime. I feel like at NIP, they got a little bit split, and they were flinging skill shots around a little too willy-nilly, trying to get that first pick, and they misplaced their positioning a little bit. Really well played from Hacker to capitalize, and it gives them a reprieve. What happens around here is, yes, they end up getting on towards Niket, but Niket needs to go here. Like, we called this out while it was happening live. You can't let this Fog of War go for free. At least it's only the Nautilus going through here. It's not your big damage, which could turn around a fight going down. After this point, though, I think Shanji is way too far from his team. I think it's a great Ezreal ult to force a rookie back as well, so he can't be here in time for that big play. And Hacker knows the moment is now, capitalizes.
And you can see the vision control was excellent from NIP. He's looking for that flank angle, but the moment the TF ult comes down, it's all exposed, right? The vision control means nothing. It's like, I'm looking for a flank. Oh, dear. Now it's no longer a secret mission.
No, there is a subset of champions that can play into Fog of War very well. TF is one of them. Stuff like Elise Spiderling's very good at that. I think that the Hawk Shot from Ashe obviously huge. Rengar, Maokai. But that TF with that ult can be very powerful. Niket actually having to flash away from Rookie. The damage on this Talia is insane. Rookie's had a bad start to summer so far, but turns out in Season 3, or Series 3 rather, he's had himself a bit of a comeback story. It's been good so far. Had to ban out a lot of mid lane champions to secure this lane, but it's working well for them.
As an Evelyn player, TF makes me quite sad because he presses R. No longer am I a secret mission. I am very much exposed. Tank Rengar as well. Awful matchup.
Yeah,
never win that.
To kill him. Shanji caught out again. Probably going to hook shot to safety. He's going in onto Qingtian, actually. He thinks he can get a kill.
Might be able to. Actually, no, he gets the auto! Goes 1 for 1.
And Qingtian goes down. It is a death of the split pusher, though, which means that NIP can't control the map fully, and it's still good gold over to the side of Ultra Prime. 4-4 now, Shanji. Remember we said that, you know, the draft with the TF locked in early said, look, you don't want to pick a tank into the F. You have to pick that carry on the side lane. It does mean that sometimes you can get collapsed a little easier. It's harder to survive the upfront burst as a carry is just, you know, bluntly not as tanky. Yokai picking up some extra gold there. Pretty nice there for Ultra Prime, at least.
The thing is, they have multiple members there, so it meant they weren't on the other waves. And the fact it's a 1-for-1 still means Rookie gets, what, 2 waves and gets it all shoved into that tier 3. You're still losing other stuff on the map. You had to give quite a lot to go just even in the trade, even if it does break the split push for a bit. And now all items are beginning to come on through. Opportunity, now a certainty.
Ult being blown for free by Hacker. Rookie, that damage is really high. This is a very high burst damage build from Rookie with that death cap. And now Doggo, buddy, you gotta be careful,
no!
Doggo! He's been caught shopping!
Oh, that's a dangerous move. Flash and the arcane shift away stays alive, but the summon is down.
What is Doggo doing? You can't afford to do that. The most important member of Ultra Prime is this Ezreal. Losing the flash, which hurts your outplay potential. Losing your life almost as well would have been so dangerous. Ultra Prime just about get away with that. He goes back, gets himself an item, but they lose the Fog of War control again. This might just be Baron for Doggo's mistake.
Why was he recalling in range of that bush? That's a bit of a rookie error, and he's playing for the other team, and he's been playing a very sublime game. They know now the Baron has started, but do Ultra Prime have any way of getting on in here? Maybe they need to call Big Brother Optimus to come help out.
Okay, so that's going to be Qingtian ulting forwards. That's going to be the TF ult down. And NIP say, look, actually, we don't want to play towards this. I'm surprised at that. I feel like they could have just looked to finish that kill. I guess Shanji not being in position informs that decision. Now it means that Ultra Prime get themselves a moment to push out mid lane, give themselves a reprieve. I thought that should have been a game-losing play. The dominoes would have fallen beyond that point from Ultra Prime, but they get away with it, and the game goes on. It's even enough in gold. Dragon spawning now. Ultra Prime could just give this one up for a bit more gold themselves, get themselves another item here or there.
A lot of panic pings towards that top lane as well, because Shanji had shoved the whole wave into the tier 3, so immediately the recalls had to come on through, and Shanji backs away to the Krugs, knows what his mission is here. This will be another dragon to NIP. Shanji begins to back away. Hacker is theoretically collapsing, but all they do is sweep out vision and try and get some control over their own red side jungle again.
They need to do that, though. As long as they can stop some of this Fog of War coming through from NIP, they don't have to give up the Baron. They can give up a dragon or two. I think that's fine. Even with Mountain Dragons, they have enough tank killing potential across their whole roster to get away with that. They can't give up the Baron and lose the entire map, though. That would be too much. They're bleeding out bits and gold, and of course, with every level from this point, there's going to be an extra, 1,000 gold-ish from the Ornn coming through on an item, on a teammate as well. But this is survival now from Ultra Prime. NIP, what can they do to push the pace of the game forwards? They've been looking for kind of these miracle picks, these unassisted Talia shoves or something like that. They've been struggling to find real, huge-scale teamfight wins, though.
You've also got to keep your eyes on the fact that this is now 2.5 items on Yokai, who has gotten 221 odd stacks, has still got the Sky's Descend available. The items and damage is beginning to get in here for Ultra Prime's Doggo. Darkness begins to switch around. All the observers knew there was something going on.
The skill set of Rookie is playing around Fog of War. He's the best player in the world at playing around Fog of War and punishing people for it. Hacker was spotted. Going to that. Ryokai has been spotted. He has flash. He doesn't flash.
They've managed to catch him out. They've got a golden moment. The skies might descend, but they do not in time. They stay standing on the pillar that is Rookie to League of Legends. A man, a myth, and a legend of the game finds another one.
And it's just another unassisted shove from out of Fog of War by Talia. Rookie does it again at an important moment. Is this going to lead through to the Baron? I don't know. It's a long enough death timer from Yokai, but he has a teleport when he comes back up, and he will have his ultimates. Not the Sky's Descend. It's only the Falling Sky, sadly. Ultra Prime will have to fight a 4v5, and the Ezreal doesn't do that much to chunk them out.
Shanji on the flank, not spotted out. Jingtian could pull the ultimate and does so.
Ult. That's an important thing. TF ult has been pulled. They know Shanji's on the flank. They're looking to reset. Joe misses the knock-up.
The seismic shot flashed away from it. That allows Shanji into the backline. Doggo look in the cage. They get a hold of Hacker, and the damage is just so much. Niket dies well. The teleport coming back in. But already 2 members are dead, and the Sky's Descent is still available. Didn't get to use it last time, and they'll go back to the Baron. And I don't even know whether that empowered ultimate will be enough to dissuade them.
NIP, they find themselves their turn off a Baron. No smite this time. Yokai has ult. Xingqian stops the recall, but he can't stop the hook shot. Shanji, fast fingers on the E. Doggo comes back in with the teleport. They're looking to fight a 3v5.
Gold card onto Rookie. Gets some damage. He flashes away. Xingqian dies. But the Sky's Descent gets it. Doggo is dead all the same, though. A 1-for-1 is not enough. And Xingqian desperately low, and they're on the wrong side of the map.
Shanji doesn't have teleport. He can't come back in, but he might just be able to come in with a hook shot. Is he going to get the headshot? They get Yokai, and the Prey Seeker hits TF.
The land shot continues to do it. Older than an all-star. Certainly older than this game is going to be at this point. The damage is just too much. Back towards the Baron they can look. Another couple members dead.
NIP finally find a way to accelerate the game. It comes off of Rookie. Honestly, it's capitalizing on the individual gold leads, which NIP have secured for Shanji and the rest of the team throughout the early game. It felt like Ultra Prime just could not stabilize around these sidelines, and now giving up the Baron, I think that's the death knell. I think that should do it.
Hackett is around, has no flash, but does have a win becomes lightning theoretically.
Nah, you can't get in in time, surely not. It's going to be a fight maybe over a dragon next. I guess they have to just wait and see that one go. How many items is enough for Ultra Prime to fight back? The problem here is when people talk about scaling, it somewhat annoys me when people say that team outscales. If you're behind 3,000 gold on a TF, you don't outscale anymore. Even if you hit the items which would normally get you to a really good point. Double flashes out from Draw and Rookie. They managed to force them out really well. And Doggo gets locked down by Shanji. Doggo just can't damage the front line quickly enough. You need someone else to kill the tanks. And Yokai had already died before this play. So that was the green light for NIP to go forwards.
Now that arm guard is broken, it's not going to be made into a Zhonya's anytime soon for Yokai. So that's getting quite tricky. A third item done for Rookie, and he has a death crown now as well. Ornaments begin to sing. A black cleaver upgrade for that jungle too. So Aki, increasingly scary. It's actually been a very good Rek'Sai game from him. We've not really talked about him, but he has been so prevalent in all of those picks.
That's a great point.
And now at 3 items, he's not exactly falling off a cliff at this point, despite Rek'Sai's nominal difficulties in mid late.
We worried about Ultra Prime, about NIP facing against the AP junglers from Hacker, the AD mids from Yokai. A lot of AD mids came out in the first round of bans from NIP. I don't know whether they'll be able to do that against every teams all the time, against teams which have adapted to the AP AD jungle mid duos, but it works for game 1. It feels like Yokai and Hacker have not been able to match up with Rookie and Aki across the map. It's going to be E-forced out. Doggo has flash and will be forced to use it.
Does so. The Singularity prevents easy follow-up there afterwards, but that's the summoner down again. This Ezreal not finding great value despite a lot of the gold. Credit to NIP for punishing, but at the same time, Ultra Prime being put behind the end of the curve bin, struggling to find safe places to farm in the side lanes, and now with their base all that stands between them and defeat, it's getting pretty dire indeed.
Doggo, no flash, so hard for him to play. See the damage he's doing to Photic. He just needs to hit someone that isn't one of these damn tanks. Niket tries to get that miracle hook, can't quite land it. Very nearly dies for the expense of that one too. 4 upgraded items on NIP2, lest we forget that one. So much extra gold. Doggo has the damage onto the backline. Can he realistically hit it? No, he can't. Shanji might get shut down here, though. He needs to be careful.
Tries to get the stun and does get one onto Xingqian, trying to buy some space. Well, Hextech ultimatum some damage. Can't quite get the killers yet. The Dawning Shadow a touch late, and they do stop the split push. All the while, though, your turret and inhibitor are falling on the other side of the map.
Hang on. NIP needs to be careful. Xingqian can recall, and then you can use his second tier ult to look for an engage. I think that NIP needs to be careful on the retreat here.
They are not going to pull it quite yet. A reset comes on through.
TF pulled the ult. I think we saw that. Yeah, I think we just saw it up there. Xingqian ults through into mid lane. You can see that with Dragon spawning, they might try and take a fight in the 5v4. Xingqian no ult now, though. He used it to clear out mid lane. They will get themselves a Dragon off of this unless Aki can get a steal.
be a bold one to look for. Maybe they want to fight regardless. They've got fair amount of damage here at this point, but Rookie's recalling. Might look for a TB back, I guess.
Shanji doesn't have teleport himself, though. It's going to be an objective bounty. All things said and done. It's an extra Mountain Dragon for the side of Ultra Prime, but they don't really have a Hyper Tank to make use of all of those defensive stats. It'll help a little bit, but it's not going to help all as much as they would have liked. Rookie comes back out onto the map. As he said, he did have that teleport, but doesn't really want to commit to a fight without that Camille in that top side. This game is still very NIP favored. They have massive map control. Every single inhibitor is at least exposed, with the bot one also being destroyed. So Ultra Prime are going to have to work a lot of wave clear. At least they have an Assault. He's very good at that wave clear. Even the Twisted Fate, pretty good at killing himself, those super minions in a side lane too. But NIP, they have all the cards in their hands. They really snatched them from Xingtian's TF this game.
About to make a similar reference myself. Turns out we're on a similar wavelength. Once in a while, the Zonya's at least completed now for Yukai, and maybe with the additional Mountain Dragon, you get a couple more resists for this Nautilus, this TF who's gone for the Terminus third. You know, of course, the Hacker on the Shin Tower as well. It just feels too little, too late, and the damage is not exactly stalling out from NIP either.
No, it's not, because particularly with the Ornn items, we've already talked about that. Senna, low souls, 100 souls at 33 minutes. Photic, buddy.
Yeah.
Talked about it in early game. The lane swap is an excuse, but not this much of an excuse. Senna is actually very far behind the game where they should be. At least they have items that will make up for it somewhat. Has started farming a little bit too, which can help. Of course, you get some extra items under your belt, but normally you have more souls to work with that one at that point. NIP once again splitting the map, looking to see how many of these inhibitors they can break. Shanji has been the target on the split push multiple times, but every time the Ultra Prime go for that, if they ever fail one of these attempts, the game ends.
Inhibitor number 2 under siege goes down. Shanji gonna get jumped on. Flash for the depth charge. Shanji in turn flashes.
Double globals.
That one, the double globals come on through. The choo-choo train comes flying, but the Forge Guard doesn't land that much. Yukai stepping forwards, though. Gets a big knock up into the Singularity. And Photic has to flash on out. Might be a trade of the Ornn's life, but he's still pretty damn tanky. Gets a big knock up. Does go down eventually.
It's going to be 3 inhibitors for the cost of 1. So, or 1 kill, rather. Jerome has the teleport to get back out onto the map, so Ultra Prime can't even really capitalize that much on this. It means the game doesn't end, but they're bleeding through every single lane. There is one bonus to this, which is that NIP might start losing waves because there are so many super minions killing the enemy minion waves that much quicker. So one of the problems if you can stall out around a really good wave clear team, of course, something like that Twisted Fate, the Ezreal, and the Aurelion Sol, they're not bad at that, all things considered, but Ultra Prime, they are in full turtle shell mode at this point. They are very glad that they haven't given over Sol Point to the side of NIP, but they cannot afford to give over the Baron, which is going to be a real kicker for them. They might have to look for a steal, and Hacker won't have his flash available for it.
4.5 items on Ezreal's, 330 stacks on the Aurelion Sol. It's still a long way from coming back, but you have at least maybe got tools to theoretically turtle a little bit more. Baron has spawned. I don't think Ultra Prime are going to want to come and contest it, but this might be what breaks the camel's back.
This is the problem. We said they can't really afford to give out the Baron against tripled up super minion waves. They have good wave clip, not that good. They don't have the smolder of, you know, 225 stack glory. There's a ward in the base, which has been highlighted by the observers. Shanji and Rookie both have teleport. Now the thing is, because Ultra Prime are in full turtle mode, it's not easy to get there, and of course they will die fairly quickly. There is no stopwatch from Rookie, worth noting that. A lot of players do have something like that into the late game. Ultra Prime, how much wave clear can they realistically do against triple inhibs being down and the Baron buff?
It would have to be a Herculean effort, in the sense it would be one of the trials set by Hera at this point. This is
ults. What's happening here? They're pulling out one of these.
Required.
It's gonna be the center ult too. Hacker goes forward to avoid it. Might have to pull his ult soon.
Aki actually has to back away. The skies come crashing down again. That's a lot of damage. But look at the backhand. Shanji's in there. The knockup is big. They do get the TF. But is that the most valuable target? Because Doggo is better. He's down. Dog is dead. And now Hacker alone. Nothing left in the mainframe to find. The ham goes in and it burns out what Ultra Prime have remaining. The Nexus turrets fall and NIP put game 1 to the sword.
It takes many Baron buffs. It takes 3 inhibs being down. But NIP see the game through. This is an important series. The winner of this, you're expecting to go towards the top of this group, at least kind of going towards the Group A qualification from it. NIP, the first 2 series left a lot to be desired, but this game here puts them up 1-0.